Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Cher. I am excited to have with us today AJ Woodson. AJ is the editor-in-chief and co-owner of Black Westchester. So we will hear from him in 1 minute. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chereese Jervis-Hill. I'm the president of Events to Remember. And Coffee with Cher is our podcast where we really highlight and showcase entrepreneurs that are really working on some great things. So AJ, welcome to Coffee with Cher.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. So let's do our little cheers. You have your mug?
Yes.
All right, so we got a little coffee happening. All right, so let's get started. So tell me about Black Westchester. Tell me how you got started.
Everything we did is non-traditional, absolutely non-traditional. But I came up, I was living in Atlanta for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back home. My mother had stage 4 cancer. So I came home to take care of her.
Okay.
And my partner, Damon Jones, we had a music company back in the 90s. He had gotten more involved in the political and civil rights and, all those type of things, So he knew that I was in the hospital every day by my mom's bedside. He knew I could use a break, and he got tired of, say, the News 12s and the news organizations that would show like a clip of his press conferences. Then you would miss what the whole press conference was about. So he started videotaping them himself. So he asked me to come videotape this press conference, get me out of the hospital. We go do lunch and everything afterwards. It was 4 Black parole officers. They were going up to like Ramapo or something to get an escaped parolee. And when they left, the guy wasn't there. When they left, they were pulled over and held at gunpoint by the police. They had on bulletproof vests that said NYS, New York State Parole. They had their badges on chains around their neck. They were in a government vehicle, and they were held at gunpoint for 45 minutes. And basically nothing was done, so they were announcing their lawsuit, And once the video was done, I always had a blog because I've been a writer since '93. The Source, Vibe, Village Voice, everybody.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that about you.
Yes. So I basically wrote the article that ended up being the birth of Black Westchester. It was just a blog entry that said, if they're not safe, what chance does the average Black man like me have on the street? And that's what kicked off Black Westchester, basically. Damon came up with the idea of doing Black Westchester. I designed the website at my mom's bedside. She got to see it. My mother used to do a lot of stuff to help people in her community, help people save their houses when they're in foreclosure, and do a lot of stuff like that. So I kind of felt like my mother passed me a baton. I don't do what she does, but I write, and this is what I do, and this is my way of helping my community. So we started what we called an African-American news magazine online, because you don't have those, you have Time, Life, and all of those things, but you don't have an African-American one, and based in Westchester, since we live in Westchester.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. So on our 3-year anniversary, people were asking, again, we did this backwards. People do paper and then go online.
Yeah.
We were online, and everybody demanded, basically was asking for us to put a paper out. So I found out how to do that, and we started the Black Westchester, the monthly print newspaper, and now we're going on our 8-year anniversary of the website and the radio show, and our 5-year anniversary of the newspaper.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. This is February is Black History Month. So I'm so excited to have you here and definitely showcase Black Westchester, Black History Month. It's perfect. But this is one of those cases where we talk about, if there's not room for you at the table, you make your own table. And that's exactly what you did, so I love that story. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure that your mother is very proud of this venture and proud of the work that you're doing in Westchester County. So thank you for sharing that story with us. So Tell me a little bit about how you set yourself apart from your competition. Being in business, we all kind of have to have our unique selling point. What makes us different? So tell me what makes Black Westchester different from the other publications in Westchester?
I know this first sentence can sound somewhat arrogant. I don't know, but I don't look at anybody else's competition. My competition is what I've done earlier, my last issue, my last
Mhm.
radio show. You know what I'm saying? That's what I look at. That's our competition. There really was no roadmap to do what we were doing. Shout out to the Westchester County Press. They were the only African American voice in the county for 90 plus years. Um, but you know, we get a little bit more into the politics and holding the elected officials' feet to the fire. Going back to the traditional African American papers of the past, we're also advocates as well as delivering the news. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I think that's what makes us a little different. We give you the news with the Black point of view. And the goal was to help change the narrative of how we're portrayed in the media, uplift our unsung heroes that you won't hear about anywhere else. Again, hold our elected officials, Black and white, that are in our community, and anybody who's abusing their power, we hold their feet to the fire. We've become somewhat of the voice of the people. And I always say I never started this to be the voice of the people. I started this to give the people their own voice, to empower them so they can have their own voice. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll encourage the next generation of truth speakers.
I love it. I love it. Such important work you're doing. So definitely keep it up. Um, so what's new for you? We're still at the top of the new year, 2022. Anything new happening? Any new segments coming on? Any new adventures? Tell us what's new.
Well, last year I received a fellowship from the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism to cover the New York City races. And I'm receiving another one this year to get paid to cover the state races this year, which is very
Nice.
good. That comes with a lot of training. I'm taking some classes in the journalism graduate school that it affords me to take that for free. Um, I'm actually working on a few books. Hopefully, I can actually get them out. Some of them are done. Some of them are almost done. It's just when you do this all day, like if you work Dunkin' Donuts all day, you don't want to come home and make donuts or have a donut. So when you write all day on your off time, the last thing you want to do is write sometimes.
That's
So
right. Yeah.
so those are a few things, and I want to definitely um, increase our digital footprint. I want to make sure what we're doing is purposeful. I go into this like I do everything like it's my first and it's my last. Like
Yeah.
on our radio show, we just did episode 330. But
Mm-hmm.
no matter how many episodes you did, there's always someone listening to you for the first time. That
Yeah.
does not know that never heard the other 330. And
Yeah.
no one's promised tomorrow. So, we do it. So I go into everything like it's our first and our last. And I think we're in a very important time in our history in the movement, fighting to keep our voters' rights and all that. And I feel
Yes.
like I am the pen to document the movement. So
I love it. I love that statement. Yes, it is a really important time. And, it's sad that we still have some of the same battles that have been fought, that, we're kind of coming up on these same issues over and over and over again in the Black community. So, your voice is extremely important, and make sure that, there's transparency and things are being seen, and hold those politicians to, what they say. Let's make sure that they do, because it is really important. And, the Black vote is important. So I commend you and I thank you for what you're doing, because it's important work.
I just want to shout
Um,
out. I don't know if I did. I want to shout out my partner in crime, Damon K. Jones. He is the publisher. This is actually his idea. I just gave a pen to his movement, and it took on a whole nother life. Like this was his idea, and some of the work he was doing with fighting police brutality and all those other things. This is what it was birthed on. So, and then I brought my ideas and my stuff to it, and here we are 8 years later.
That's great. I mean, that's what it's about, teamwork, right? You know,
Right.
there's no I in team. We do it together, you know.
Yes.
So
And then,
um
there's a lot of other people behind the scenes. Robert Baskerville, we call him Dr. Bob, Lorraine Lopez, and several others that you don't see. You see me and Damon's name, but there's a lot of people making moves behind, helping with distribution, helping with stories, doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So,
yeah, and your readers that are
yeah,
helping spread the
oh,
word, right?
absolutely. Shout out to all the readers, the subscribers, the supporters. We wouldn't be here without any of them. So,
Yeah, definitely. It takes an army, you know?
yes, yes.
So, all right. So I always like to wrap up our Coffee with Share segments by offering some kind of advice because this podcast really is geared towards the entrepreneurial journey. Being an entrepreneur, it's something I'm so passionate about. It's something that I love, and I want to make sure that people that are thinking about starting a business or that might have started a business and are having a rough time and just need some advice. So, you know, you've been doing this for a while, you and your partner. What kind of advice would you give to a new business owner who's thinking about stepping out on faith, or someone who has been in business for a while and having a rough time? Any advice? Any jewels you can share?
Well, the best thing, especially to our youth, you can do anything you want to do, but you got to put your mind to it. You have to put in the work. If you want to be a writer, you need to be writing every day. You want to be a pro basketball player, you need to be dribbling that ball and practicing your shot every day. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your craft, you need to be honing your craft, whatever it is. But equally important, you need to learn all you can about what it is that you want to do. You need to research, you need to find out. If possible, I mean, what we were doing, there wasn't really a blueprint, but then there were several examples, and I kind of took bits and pieces and did what we wanted to do from that. Find if there is someone doing what you want to do, find out their story, find out how they did it, learn some, because you're not reinventing the wheel sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You might be just putting a new rim on it or something, but so find out all you can. Be as informed. And money is very important. Knowledge is very important. Knowledge is something they can't take away from you. You be as informed, and when you have to do deals with people, the more knowledgeable you are about the situation going in, the probably the better your money is going to be on the other side of things at the end. So, just do it. I mean, basically, I was in the music business and I was writing, and then when I came back up here, I don't have 5 years of banking and 5 years of this or 5 years or 10 years of that. Basically, I couldn't really get a job like that. I didn't fit in any lane, so I had to create my own lane. You understand what I'm saying? So, like,
Yeah.
if you don't fit in any lane, create your own lane. But
Mhm.
but let me just tell you, you have to be willing to put in the work. I don't sleep, I nap. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I really don't. I mean, I don't really sleep. Like, sometimes it's like it's hard. You might have to give up having that relationship you want to have. You might, what other things you want to do. Have to be able to put everything into it. In
Yeah.
football they say leave it all on the field or leave it all on the court. You have to put everything into it. And that's very important. So, we started with very little money, and it was just blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, and just passion and just relentless not to it was going to happen, and walking out on faith too. For my spiritual people, it was
Yes.
walking out on faith. Faith is like seeing something that doesn't exist and believing that it can happen. If you see it, you can achieve it, and that's the truth. you
Yeah.
know don't let no one tell you why it won't. Don't let no one discourage you. When people tell you why it won't work and you have haters, that's a good thing. They're like your quality control department. And a corporation has a quality control department that picks, just examples and looks at it and tests the product. Your haters are going to tell you everything you didn't think of or why your stuff won't work. And then if you're smart, you'll sit there and you'll fix some of those things so it will work. You know what I'm saying? So let them motivate you. Don't
Let
let them
them
discourage you.